مساء الخير وأهلا بكم إلى حلقة جديدة من واشنطن أونلاين. معي أنا هدي العويس على شبكة نورث بريس. تصعيد تركي جديد يوقع عشرات الضحايا في الشمال السوري، فكيف سيكون رد الرئيس الأمريكي جو بايدن على كل هذه المسيرات التركية التي تقصف المدنيين والقياديين في الشمال السوري؟ والمعارضة السورية ترفض الاستسلام لمحاولات إعادة تعويم نظام الأسد، وتحاول جني الدعم الأمريكي والغربي لإيصال المسؤولين السوريين إلى محكمة الجنايات الدولية. هذا ما أبحثه في حلقة اليوم من واشنطن أونلاين، وضيوفي لهذه الحلقة هما الدبلوماسي الأمريكي السيد بن فرايدمان ينضم إلينا من واشنطن. ابقوا معنا لمتابعة الحلقة. أهلا وسهلا بك سيد فرايدمان. سيد فرايدمان، الرئيس أردوغان يختار التصعيد ضد قوات سوريا الديمقراطية في الشمال السوري بعد أن انتهى من ملف الانتخابات. الإدارة الأمريكية ليست مرتاحة لهذا التصعيد التركي، ولكن لا نسمع الكثير من التصريحات العلنية عما يجري، رغم أننا نعرف بأن هناك لقاءات تحدث بين القيادة الأمريكية وبين مسؤولين أتراك. كان آخرها لقاء جمع أنتوني بلينكين بوزير الدفاع التركي. ما الذي يحدث وراء الكواليس؟ ما هي الردود المحتملة من إدارة الرئيس جو بايدن على هذا التصعيد التركي؟
Yeah, I think that President Biden would try to convince Erdogan and Turkey not to again attack the Kurds in Syria. It's certainly one of the reasons why the United States maintains a troop presence there, is to help the Kurds. That hasn't stopped prior Turkish attacks on the Kurdish forces there. So I don't know that the United States' objections would make much difference, but I do think President Biden would at least object how far he's willing to go to punish Turkey in the event that his advice is ignored. I don't know. It might not be a great deal of effort made by the United States to punish Turkey.
هل بإمكان واشنطن وقف هذه الاعتداءات التركية ضد مناطق قوات سوريا الديمقراطية، حتى لو كانت روسيا ترغب بإعطاء تركيا الضوء الأخضر للقيام إما بغزو جديد أو التصعيد عبر الطائرات المسيرة؟
Yeah, I mean the Russians and the Turks have overcome a lot to have a sort of warmer relationship in Turkey and in Syria more broadly, but particularly as far as Syria goes. And I think that the chances of them cooperating to a greater extent, despite the fact that they have different interests in Syria, are good. And I don't know that there's much the United States can do about it. I mean, there's different ways that we can pressure Turkey, where there's always talk about aircraft sales, F-35s and now F-16s, and that gets mixed up with the issue of NATO expansion to Sweden. But I don't think that it's been particularly effective, these sort of coercive threats on the Turks. And I think really what the United States should do is try to be a party to these negotiations. I think the best thing the United States can do for our Kurdish partners in Syria is to try, as we exit, to negotiate some sort of agreement that protects them and reintegrates them into Syria. So I think the leverage we have in large parts is our potential departure, which we can use as a something to trade, as a chit.
سيد فرايدمان، دعني أسأل قليلا عن حراك المنظمات التابعة للمعارضة السورية هنا في واشنطن. هذه المنظمات تسعى اليوم لنيل دعم إدارة الرئيس جو بايدن والصوت الأمريكي في الأمم المتحدة لإيصال مسؤولي النظام السوري إلى محكمة الجنايات الدولية، بعد أن كان هناك مقترح من هذا النوع من قبل كل من كندا وهولندا. أمريكا وافقت على المقترح الهولندي والكندي، ولكن هل ممكن أن نرى فعلا منطقيا وواقعيا في هذه المرحلة الولايات المتحدة تدعم جهود المعارضة السورية في هذا الاتجاه؟
Well, I think it's very understandable that various countries want to pursue a criminal course against Assad and his associates in the International Criminal Court or elsewhere. And I find it very understandable, and I think there's a fair amount of sympathy for that, as you noted, in the United States. But I don't know that it will be helpful, and I think it arguably could be counterproductive because the Assad government or the Assad regime is seemingly here to stay. And we made efforts to overthrow Assad. They didn't work. We made efforts to help rebels in Syria overthrow the government. Maybe we could have done more, but the fact remains that it didn't work, and the Assad government is about as solid as it's been in a decade at least, and don't seem to be going anywhere. So indictments, the International Criminal Court, I think just arguably make it harder to deal with the government that's there. And I think that it's sort of necessary in some way to deal with the government that's there as much as we don't like it. And so I think we kind of got to hold our nose and try to be practical and do the best we can in protecting human rights to the extent we can in Syria, by dealing with the Assad regime, not just pretending that we can make them go away by sanctions and indictments at the ICC.
نعم، ولكن هل تعتقد أن الرئيس السوري الذي رفض تقديم أي تنازلات وهو ضعيف وهو محاصر عسكريا قبل سنوات سيقدم الآن تنازلات سياسية دون ضغوطات خارجية؟
Well, I don't know that he'll make no concessions or that he was never willing to make concessions. He wasn't willing to give up power, which was in large parts what the U.S. and its allies and associates were demanding. But I think it's an open question what kind of accommodations Assad would make. I don't think we can get much. That's true. I don't think the United States is capable of extracting broad brush revolutionary changes in Syria, but some limited moves I think are possible. And as I said, I think the fact that we have occupied a big chunk of Syria and the Assad regime would sure like us to leave it is a bit of a powerful negotiating chit and an opportunity at least to get something for our departure. I mean, everyone sort of agrees, I think, that the United States has to leave Syria eventually. We're not planning on sitting on a third of Syria territorially or whatever it is forever. So, I think it's time to start thinking about how we could make that exit pay in terms of promoting U.S. interests and doing something for Syrians other than just sanctioning the whole country in the name of regime change.
شكرا جزيلا لك ضيفي السيد بن فرايدمان، كنت معنا من واشنطن.
Okay, thank you.
وفي الختام شكرا لكل من تابع حلقة اليوم من واشنطن أونلاين. ألقاكم في حلقة جديدة الأسبوع المقبل. إلى اللقاء.